Hello there, all you beautiful people. Where have you been? What's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. Alright, maybe that's my fault. I haven't been online, I haven't been posting, and for that I am truly sorry. I've been going through a lot. The going through a lot has been taking up a lot of my time, and just hasn't given me any time to make any videos and post anything for you guys. Just trying to get this part of my life situated, not the YouTube front of the camera part of my life now. But this story today, this story today is going to be a long one. I've already shot it and recorded it all, and putting it all together and trying to get it up online for you. I was having camera problems, which I should have. I should have already. I shouldn't have had camera problems. I should have known the issue. Anyways, had camera problems. Two of my clips were deleted or not recorded because of the camera problems. So I missed like the whole 40 minutes of my first clip, just either recorded and got deleted or I didn't record. So either way, I have to redo that right now for you, and then I will attach the rest of the video that I made that day. So it was just a couple days ago. But this was all one giant video, and I just have two pieces I'm missing. Just the first half of like 40 minutes, and then another part later in the video. But this first half of the video that got cut off was more about my life and about me and about my life before Michael's passing. So Michael was in front of the camera. Michael did all the day-to-day stuff for the Travel Costa Rica Now YouTube, and I was more behind the scenes, did very little at this point stage in life, did very little as far as the day-to-day stuff. I did editing and web page stuff, and just the day-to-day stuff. Michael was in charge of that, so he was the one bringing you guys the videos, and I did the editing if there was any needed. So with that, I had my own life. I had my own things going on. I had my own life, and so I am still dealing with my own life and now trying to deal with all the Travel Costa Rica Now drama that's gone on, and it is a lot, which we'll cover most of it in this video. But this in the lot of my life, it's just a lot going on with just different things. So for like instance, we have one provider that is being complicated, has not paid me out on any of the commissions that are owed, and doesn't want to pay me out on commissions owed from when Michael had the company, or well, choice of words there, but Michael didn't have the company. But when Michael was running the company, so he's being difficult. I will end up probably making a whole nother video on this provider. Actually, might be making more than one video. Probably a video for every client that he has not paid me on. It will be my own personal review on his work ethics and his professionality, and his not wanting to pay me what is owed to Travel Costa Rica Now. Whether it was when Michael was working for Travel Costa Rica Now, or whether it was past Michael's passing and him still getting clients for Travel Costa Rica Now. All clients that were ran through him were Travel Costa Rica Now clients, which is my company, and has always been under my name. So him being difficult is just disappointing. So I have gone through the emails and looked at the emails that have been sent to him, the clients that have been sent to him from Michael's passing till the next couple months, because he has future clients. So I've looked at this last 7 months, and then plus the coming months, for clients that we've sent him. So I sent emails to those clients, and I am just waiting back to hear from a couple more clients to hear if they ended up booking with him or not. And then yeah, I will be on my happy little self of blasting away at his company and at him for not wanting to pay me. These videos about, I haven't really posted many videos, well, any videos about the situation I'm going through with with Matthew and Johnny, with Travel Costa Rica Now, with the lawyers. I haven't posted any of that because it's not really the videos I want portrayed on this channel. This channel is a travel agency and a living here channel. So I don't really want to flood this channel with a bunch of these type of videos. But for the remainder, Johnny, Matthew, Travel Costa Rica Now, legal battles and stuff, I will probably more likely end up putting it into a hidden private playlist. So if you do want to follow along, which I get messages from you guys all the time asking what's the update. Thank you for all the messages. I'm sorry I haven't put an update out, but I will make a playlist and you can follow the playlist and subscribe to the playlist, and you will get those videos directed to you, and it's not going to be a public video here on the channel. I'm going to just use this channel for what it is. It's a travel company and a living here channel, and so I'm not gonna, I know this is part of my living here, this drama and the bullshit that I'm going through, but it's not quite what I want to keep posting out on the public part of this channel. So I'll be moving that over. And yeah, I still, we'll see where it goes. As far as my life before Michael's passing and my day-to-day work, I have a non-paid full-time job, I guess. A non-paid, yeah, I guess that's what it would be. A non-paid full-time job of taking care of an elderly lady. Michael's done videos with her. Michael's talked about her out of her not being in the videos. I take care of an 88-year-old lady that now needs a lot more help than she did in the last 2 years. So this whole last year, I have just been her go-to person for help. She's 88 years old. She suffers from dementia or very short-term memory loss at this stage in life. That had hit her within this year. It is just, she had her memory loss, and it kind of just snowballed in the last 6 months to like downhill snowball of her losing her memory. She remembers the past, she remembers a lot that's gone on in her life, but she has very short-term memory loss now. So in the last 2 years, I've been helping her because it's just, there were signs there before where people were helping her before. She had a gentleman helping her with all her banking and all her travels, her trips into town, to the grocery store, to the bank, out to eat, and she became great friends with this guy and his family. He was helping her with everything, and he ended up talking to the bank, switching her bank account to a bank where he could get his name on it, and talking to the tellers and telling them that that's what she wanted, was for him to help with her banking so that she didn't have to come to the bank and to put his name on the bank account. So he ended up getting her to a new bank, getting his name onto that account so he could help her. And then through the transactions, we found that he was just siphoning money out of her account. When you have a bank account here, they have what is called Simpe, and Simpe is how you can pay people, or they can pay you to your bank account through your phone number. And so all the transactions that were going out or being bought for things, or cash being taken out, was being registered under his phone number and his name under her account. She okayed the account because she didn't know what she was signing. She just didn't understand the Spanish or the paper that was put in front of her or what was being done. And the teller didn't know enough English to understand that that's not really what she wanted. So ended up catching this guy taking her money, and I spent over a year with her, talking to lawyers, going in and out of the courthouse, going to court dates, driving to hospitals, going to clinics, getting her looked at the hospitals, and just a lot of my time trying to help her fight this case. It was a lot of money that was taken out of her account that she was fighting for. It was over $40,000. It was a long fight, and it just kept going and going and going. The fight got even worse as the lawyers we had found for her ended up not representing her. They charged her a lot of money, and then they ended up not representing her. So we had to now go after the lawyers for charging her so much money and not representing her. And that's still an ongoing battle with the lawyers on that. But the guy that was originally the problem, I could honestly say it wore me out, going back and forth to the lawyers, to the hospitals, to the court cases. He had 2 different court cases with him, one in civil court and one in criminal court and one in family court, domestic court. So it was back and forth to 2 different courthouses on any given time that appointments were made to meet up with the lawyers and the judges, and it kept getting pushed further for all the kinds of different reasons. I can honestly say I was exhausted. I was exhausted from going back and forth and helping her with all this, and her being an 86-year-old woman at the time and 87 years old was very exhausted herself. And by the let's see, I think it was a month, maybe 2 months prior to Michael's passing, this guy ended up, he was 25 years old, he was young, but he ended up passing away for complications, lung complications of a bacteria he caught in the hospital. So he ended up passing away, and I have to admit, it was such a relief when I heard he passed away. A relief knowing that all that legal drama and battles and problems were over. He died. She's not getting her money back. There's nothing else she can do. He doesn't have a conservatorship. He doesn't have an inheritance. He doesn't have anything in his name other than a vehicle. That she is now somewhat upset, but relieved that it's over as well. She would definitely love to get some of her money back, but it's not happening. So that was a huge relief at the time for me. I was thrilled. I can't explain how thrilled I was that it was over. But then 2 months later, Michael passes, and now I start all my legal drama. Which is a lot that's going on in my legal case and my legal stuff that's going on that I can't get into for legal reasons until the court is over with. But I do love the way that it is headed, and the legality of laws down here in Costa Rica that do protect a spouse, that do protect a person that are definitely in my favor. So that is all. Thank you for that. So now we're still battling my legal stuff, and the old lady that I help, we're still battling the lawyers that ripped her off. So it just so happened, I don't know if you've paid attention to any Costa Rica news, any Costa Rica info, like the Costa Rica usually never extradited their own citizens. This last couple months was their very first extradition that they've done. They are extraditing a lawyer here in Costa Rica to the United States. He is being extradited for, I think, drug trafficking, with help with drug trafficking. I don't know the story about it all. I haven't paid attention to it, but it is he's their first citizen that they're extraditing to the United States to go to trial in the States. His law office was a pretty big law office, and just so happened to be the law office that was helping this lady, this elderly lady that I help, and they ended up taking advantage of her. So we are now going after his law office. It just so happens to be connected. And another weird fluke of it all is that when Matthew the son strong-armed me at the bar with the two lawyers. One was his, and the other was from this law office as well. So it was just a weird connection with this lawyer that's now being tried. And probably his law office is getting very scrutinized and checks and balances and looked at. Whatever they're doing, or their connection with this whole issue that he's going to the States for. Let's see. Weird coincidences. So let's see, where did I leave off? I think that's the end of the story with her, and the problems with the lawyers, and my issues with my legal problems. Get back to this old lady for a quick second. She's 88 years old. Like I said, she's got dementia or Alzheimer's, or she's got short-term memory loss. I've taken her to the clinics and got her looked at and checked up on, and she's a good, healthy 88 years old. She gets around without a walker, without a wheelchair, she's on 0 medications. The hospital clinic said she had high blood pressure. She just has to keep an eye on that. She is definitely a full-time job for me, but she's had a lot of shady people realize that she's not all there, or that she's needing help. She's not understanding the language all that great anymore, or what's happening, what her day-to-day life and what she is doing. She lives on her own. She doesn't live away from everybody. She lives in a hotel complex that has about 12 cabinas on it. She lives in one of the cabinas there on the hotel complex, and she has people going by her unit every single day. She's the only permanent resident in the hotel. The rest are all tourists. But the owners live right near her, and the owner's son, the handyman, the gardener, the cleaning ladies, they all pass her every day and interact with her. I check up on her every other day. I take her to go grocery shopping. I try not to take her to the bank. Under my watch, she's not allowed to go to the bank. She's not allowed to get cash out. That's her and I. Our biggest fight every day, whenever we go hang out, is for her to go to the bank and get cash. She constantly wants cash. She's old school, and she's from the days where cash was king and you used cash for everything. So to her, she always needs cash in her wallet. And I keep insisting and instilling on her that she doesn't need cash in her wallet. She needs to use her debit card. Her debit card will keep track of every transaction, and we need to keep track of her transactions. With cash, she doesn't remember where she spent it. She doesn't know what she's done with it. She doesn't know what happened with it. So she loses a lot of cash that way. So that's our biggest gripe, her and I, fighting about her getting cash from the bank. So when I pick her up and take her out and take her shopping, she's not allowed to go to the bank. But that just means she does end up calling a taxi the next day and going with somebody else to the bank and getting money. She's still trying to be very independent, and for the most part, she can be. She can go to the store and get her food and make it to the store and back and do her grocery shopping. But she won't remember the next day going to the grocery store. Gonna check something real quick. All right, still going. So she won't remember going to the grocery store. She loves to go out to eat. So we now she goes. Before it was maybe twice a week we would go out to eat. Now she wants to go out to eat every day. So she goes by herself most days now to a local restaurant. And the owner there is a nice lady that's become a great friend of mine, both of ours, and watches over her when I'm not there. She helps out, so she'll message me, let me know that, hey, she's here. Hey, she's headed out. She's getting a taxi going back. So, and the owner knows that she's there to eat and socialize and be merry, but she's not allowed to purchase drinks or meals for anybody else. She likes to purchase meals and drinks for people, and so she can't remember that she's not supposed to be purchasing meals. So the owner knows, and we just watch her, make sure she's having a good time, but she's not spending her money on other people. And so she's now at the stage of life where she needs help for sure. What kind of help, I don't know. I personally would like to find somebody to maybe move in with her, somebody to help her out. Like, just, she doesn't clean. She doesn't want. She's just complacent with life now. She just hangs out on her computer, watches TV, listens to music, hangs out with her cats, sits on her back porch, watches the jungle. She lives in a beautiful little cabina right next to a river, right next to the jungle. She has iguanas and monkeys and toucans all in front of her porch, and it's a beautiful little area. And she has a 2-bedroom little cabin. So it's perfect for somebody to come in and move in with her, which, hey, I'm in the lookout for anybody that wants to maybe come in and not necessarily have to take care of her, but just conversate with her, to hang out with her. She's very lonely. That's the main problem with this old age of hers, is it's just the loneliness. And so she does want to leave the cabin. She wants to go out into the town. She wants to do things because she's just lonely, and it'd be better to like have somebody to conversate with her throughout an hour or two out of the day. Go with her grocery shopping and help her out. She doesn't really she knows what she's doing, but when it comes to paying the groceries or whatever, she likes to just hand over a wad of cash and hope the taxi driver or the cashier at the grocery store is gonna take the right amount out and give her the rest. Which is why I try to get her to only use her card. We have notes all over her house, all over her door, in her purse, all kinds of notes for her to read and remember that she's not supposed to get cash out of the bank. She's supposed to be using her card to keep track of every transaction. It's a daily reminder with her of no more cash. So anyways, getting back to her needing somebody, I definitely am going to be on the lookout for somebody to move in maybe with her and help her out a bit. It does not have to be a woman, but it preferably would be a woman. You do not have to need medical background, but some sort of medical background would be awesome. Her rent would probably go up with a second person living there, so you might have to cover that that extra rent. At the most, I could see it maybe going up to $200 more, but that's all speculation. I have no clue what it would go up, or even if it would. I'm under the assumption it would. She doesn't need any, like, her rent covers all her laundry, her trash, her house cleaning. they don't do a great job house cleaning for her anymore. So somebody there with her to help clean up would be great. Clean the dust and cobwebs and stuff that it's a jungle, so it gets dusty. I guess it's basically what I'm looking for. And we'll take applications, anybody interested. With that, I believe it does come with, it's the possibility of getting you a residency for that as well, a caretaker residency. So her needing a dependent and you becoming a dependent of her, or somebody for her to depend on, there is a residency status for that. So it will grant you not permanent residency, but a temporary residency. And then every year, every 2 years, whatever it is, you just renew your temporary residency on that. And that will grant you some residency down here. So anybody interested, I'm going to vet you, and I'm going to check all your details and references, and I'm going to vet you strongly, because this lady is like family to me. So that is what I'm looking for as far as help with her. I have reported her. This falls along with for all of you wanting to move to Costa Rica and you're coming down here and you have no family down here, this is definitely something you need to think about. So she moved down here 15 plus years ago. I've known her for 15 years. We've been great friends for 15 years. She would come to my apartment in town 3 times a week and hang out with me, and we would just drink and socialize, and then she'd walk back up to her place. She had like a 2-mile walk. She was in great shape up until 2 years ago, when she just stopped walking to town. It's gotten too much for an 86-year-old woman at the time. But she moved down here. She has no family down here. She has 2 adult daughters, in their 50, 60 years old adult daughters, that don't really want anything to do with her anymore in life. I've done my best to contact them, to get a hold of them, and I've written them stories, pages, books. I've written them books about her and what's going on with her, and every step of the way of her legal problems, every step of the way of her banking, every step of the way of her mental state. Her daughters are very well aware of what is going on in her life right now, but they don't really care to be part of her life, I guess. She was not the best of mothers. She sort of abandoned them at 17 and 18 years old. And she bought a boat and traveled the world. And it was all about her and not her daughters. And so her daughters resent her for that, which is very understandable. But now they don't want anything to do with her. So she's here in Costa Rica on her own, and doesn't have any other family here. And she does not want to leave Costa Rica. She's found her happy place. Loves where she's at. She loves her little cabina, the nature and jungle around her, the river, the monkeys. She loves it, and she does not want to leave. She's extremely stubborn, does not want to leave. So with that comes into what we all have to think about on moving down here, and myself included. I don't have family here. I don't have anyone here that would take care of me or look after me or help me out if something were to happen to me now or in my elderly age. So she's at the point where she needs the help but has no family member here. So according to Costa Rica law, once a person's kind of at her stage in life, a family member has to move in with them, and a family member has to help out, and a family member has to start taking care of them. She doesn't have that. And I've gone through every channel that I can think of to get her the help, or to get her the person, the organization to take care of her, and I've exhausted all avenues, and I can't think of anything else. So this is a plead to all of you watching, if any of you know another step I can take to help this lady out, please let me know. message me personally, put it in the comments, please. This is more important than anything else going on in my life. I need to get her more help than she's getting right now. For her legal matters and the lawyers ripping her off, we were able to get there's an organization down here that help single women, and we were able to get them to help with her legal matters at the time, but her legal matters are all over with now because of the kid dying. So there was an organization to help her with that, an organization that helps single women. They went to the extent of until the kid died, and now they aren't there to help her anymore. I have reported her to the United States Embassy as a senior citizen living here on her own and having memory problems or old age problems, and people taking advantage of her, and the embassy needing to help out or send somebody to check in on her or look into this. I've reported her to the Costa Rican FBI, the OIJ here, and the same thing, as being an elderly person, needing some help, people taking advantage of her, her money disappearing rapidly because of all the people robbing her. There's an organization for senior citizens down here, and they are very much in what is the word, in the lookout, they very much look after the senior citizens and the well-being of the senior citizens, and they are supposedly a great organization called Conapan, and Conapan looks after the senior citizens down here. So I reported her to Conapan as well. Same thing. Just being of an elderly age and needing help and people robbing her and blah blah blah. So through those three organizations, I'm sure they emailed each other, they talked to each other, because they only ended up sending out the Costa Rican OIJ, which is the Costa Rican FBI, to her place to talk to her and to interview her and to see how she was doing. That lasted less than 5 minutes of their questioning to her. Just asking her name, how she's doing, if she's having any problems. And that day she was like, no, I'm fine, things are great, what's going on? And they were like, oh, no, nothing, nothing at all, we just came to say hi to you and to see how you were. And that was the extent of it. That was, it stopped, and we haven't heard anything from them again. From the OIJ, from the United States Embassy, from Conapan. We haven't heard nothing at all. It is disheartening to see that happen. Even the district attorney here in the La Fortuna area was helping out at one point with her bank accounts and going through the bank's accounts to flag all the charges that were not hers, or the charges that were being taken out of her account, and then that kind of fizzled as well. In the last year, just 2 days ago, I got her a new debit card, and in the last year, this debit card I got her 2 days ago is the 8th debit card within a year that I've had to help her get renew, because somebody near her keeps getting the number and keeps buying apps on their phone and charging a bunch of charges with her debit card. And so every 2 months, I go with her to get a bank statement, and we go through her charges, and we just flag all the ones that are not hers, and report it to the bank, report it to the Costa Rican OIJ, the FBI here. The charges are mostly apps, phone apps, like Canva, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. PlayStation's a big one, PlayStation and some games that are being charged. So I went to the OIJ and talked to them and said, this should be fairly simple to find out who's doing this. These are all apps that are on somebody's computer or cell phone, and it's only geared towards that one person. There should be an IP address we can find this person, and they said no. It's a lot harder than that because those apps are all outside of Costa Rica and they don't have jurisdiction to those. I find that ridiculous to believe. There should be some way to be able to track those apps down and find the IP address to that user and find out who keeps taking her bank cards. So we're at a loss there. I don't know. The last 3 bank cards, we've gotten smart enough to now scratch out all the numbers on her card. So she has a card that she can go to the ATM, she can go to the grocery store, she can go to the restaurant, she can use her card, but all the numbers are scratched out. It still works, but anybody want to take a photo of her card, they can take a photo. There's nothing on there that will read numbers. So that's the pickle we're in now. As far as the help, the lack of help that we've been able, I have not been able to get this lack of help from the government here. So again, following back to my long story at the beginning of it, for anybody wanting to move down here and have no family, this is something to think about, something very important to think about, something happening to you down here, even if you got injured and you were just became, I don't know, in a vegetative state or something. There's very few resources. They're there, but there's not the actual help of those people to enforce the help, to help with whatever you may need. So this is a very much you need to find your own help, you need to have your own family, you need to have your own people to help you with whatever it is that you're going to need your help with. Unfortunately for her, she does not have that. I have been that lifeline, and I will continue to be that lifeline for as long as it takes. It is exhausting these last couple of months because it is definitely downhill, and the repetitiveness of a person can get quite exhausting, of the repetitive of questions and the repetitiveness of just helping her. Like she's going to the bank. She wants to go 3-4 times a week because she does not remember what the bank told her about her account or whatever. So I have a calendar for her in her office, her little desk area, and in the calendar we write what we did that day, what her account balance is, what she spent, what if I used to write the hospital visits and the doctor visits, but she won't go to them anymore. She refuses to go to those hospitals because of the last time we went, there was a little whiny kid in the waiting room just screaming and crying and screaming, and she will not have it anymore. She will not go. So I try to keep track of it as much as I can, but like I said, she does go without me. Come on, paper. Sorry about that. The wind is blowing. So she goes without me. She goes with other people, and they don't keep track of what they're helping her with. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with. I just need more options. Anybody have options of what I can do to help this lady? I did take her to the clinic, get her diagnosed to the point that the clinic subscribed her a social worker. So a year ago I got her a social worker, and the social worker is supposed to help with all this mess that I'm helping with. It's been a year, and the social worker has visited her 0 times. Has not visited her once, and she won't go visit him because it's in the hospital clinic area, and she will not. She'll sit in the car. She won't get out. That is, I can't tell you how frustrated I am about that part of it all. The social worker has not visited her, and when we went and asked him why he hasn't visited her, he says he doesn't have a car. Mind you, he is the only social worker for this area. There's only one, and that is him, and he covers a circumference of about 20,000 a little less than 20,000 people. Um, how he doesn't have a car and is a social worker is frightening. Um, so that's my only last option I fought for, and I got it, but now he hasn't visited her, so I don't know what my other options are. Like I said, we've already reported her to the embassy and to the Konopan and to the Oihota. I've looked into nursing homes for her. She does not want to go to a nursing home. Anytime one's brought up, she just goes into self-harm and self-deletion topics about taking her own life. And she's very comfortable with that topic, and she's always talked to me about that topic for the last 15 years because her mother did that when she was a young adult. Her mother, she was off sailing the world, and her mother called her back to say her last goodbyes. And around her age, as her age is now, around 88 years old, I think her mother was 87. At 87 years old, her mother called her back and told her just for her to give her last goodbyes to her mother. Her mother went with a doctor and a nurse into the bedroom and self-assisted suicide. And so she has always been very comfortable with that and has always had that in the back of her head that that's what her option at the end of her days would be as well. So anytime a senior living center is brought up, she just will not have it. She is under the assumption that any senior living location is going to be a dorm room style, where she's living in a dorm room with 20 other seniors. And I keep telling her, no, that's not how they are. But she saw it somewhere on TV, and that's what's stuck in her head. So I've looked into other senior living facilities for her here. The English-speaking ones do not fit her budget as far as what her pension is bringing in, and they're much further away from La Fortuna. So and she ends up going to one of those. I won't see her as often as she would like. I've looked into Tico-style senior homes, and there's just really not any around this area either. The closest one's maybe an hour away. I'm trying to get an appointment there to take her to go see if she would like that one. It is it's in the jungle. It's in the mountains. It's a nicer atmosphere than the other ones I've been able to find that are only in the city. There's not many options for senior living homes. So another plea to you guys is, any of you know of a senior living in the home near you or near in Costa Rica, that would be great information for me and for the followers. And there goes my paper again. Stop it, paper. That would be great. That would be paper. That would be great, and I would appreciate any information on that. Her budget is what her pension is, and that's under $2,000 a month. So it would have to be anything you can find that's under $2,000 a month. Then I could put that in her ear and see if she'll go have a look at it. So that's my biggest issue today, is her. Please, I need all the help I can get on this one. So moving on from that, that was a nice long ramble, but needed to be said. And for everyone wanting to move down here, that's going to be down here without family, that is something to think about as far as what's going to happen to you if you need that, any kind of help. Let's see. With Michael's passing and the superfan and the son taking over the banking and not taking over that side, the corporation, and not giving me my part of it, and now making me battle them for it, I had to open a whole new corporation down here to continue Travel Costa Rica Now. So that was a simple process to open up a corporation. That took all of, I don't remember if it was $500 or $600 to open up the corporation. It was opened up within a day. It was done, simple, easy. Just needed a passport. The problem later came with all the banking. The banking was such a pain in the an ass. It was ridiculous. I could definitely see why Michael had the help with this, how he put this superfan on the corporation to help him out with all the banking part of it, and the not even the hacienda. That part was easy as well. That was like set up in a day for the government taxes and all that. It set up a company and get the company up and legal and ready and running. It was easy, minus the banking. The banking was ridiculous. The banking took me 3 months to finally get an account. 3 months and 4 banks to finally get an account open and running. I went to Banco Popular. They said they didn't work with foreigners, which is a total lie. They do work with foreigners. It's in their, even in their website. I went to BCR, Bank of Costa Rica, and at first there I tried to open up a personal account. There they only need my passport and my land title, because I have land here. I just show them that, my title, and then I can open up an account. But my land was titled in my old passport number, so they would not let me open up an account until I could get that passport number changed in the registry. So I'm like, well, that's discouraging, but I will go to the registry and open up and have them change it. It will be another day out of my life to go and do that, and go to the next town over, Ciudad Quesada, and change that in the registry. So took the day off, went over there, went to the registry and told them what I needed to do, and they just shook their head at me and said, no, I can't do it there. And I'm like, what do you mean? They said, nope, they don't do it at the registry office. I have to go to a lawyer and get it changed with a lawyer. And I'm like, are you serious? I mean, this is your information. This is your stuff. You are the registry. I have to change it with the registry, and you're not letting me do it here. I have to go now get a lawyer and do it with the lawyer and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I have to go get it with the lawyer. So needless to say, I was occupied with all kinds of other things and didn't get involved with it. I didn't go with BCR. Ended up going to Bach. Bach is a more modern, state-of-the-art bank. And was the bank Michael was using, and setting up an account with Bach was like pulling fingernails out. It was ridiculous. It was such a headache, to begin with. I went and they asked for paperwork. I brought them the paperwork, and then they were like, oh, you forgot this other paperwork. And I'm like, okay, let me go get that paperwork, come back. And they're like, oh, now you forgot this paperwork. And I'm like, why can't you just tell me all the paperwork I needed? I asked you when I got here, what else do I need? This is what you told me, and now every time I come, there's another piece of paper that I need to bring, and just give me everything I need. I will go get it and come back. It was ridiculous. Then they got hung up on my personal account in the United States. They wanted an accountant here to go through all my personal account and write what it was coming in and out of my account, send it to them to let them know I've been a good banking person in the States, and I qualify for a bank elsewhere. All this was for like a business account, so I'm not sure what my personal accounts had to do with a business account. They were two different things, but Bach was requiring it. And on top of that, they were what was the other hang up on with them? My flujo de caja, which is the money flow, where the business, where the business, the new corporation, what's going to become of it? What's the flow of projection of the company? What do we see as far as money coming in, money going out? Where do we see this company and its transactions happening with the bank. What is all that we have to now get an accountant to write it all out and create charts and everything for the bank. The accountant I had cost me at least 5 trips back and forth to the bank for multiple different reasons. He forgot to sign the flujo de caja at one time. Then it was a digital signature that needed to be done, and another time, and twice it was the flujo de caja was obviously a template that he worked off of, and just changed the information from my company to the company that was being used in the template, and he forgot to erase a date that was way prior for the date of that was on the template, and the bank caught that like right away, and then went back to him, got it corrected, and went back to the bank, and the bank found another part of the template that was that was not pertained to my company. So I had to go back to him, to the accountant, and get it fixed again. And it was just back and forth with the accountant, and that was such a headache. Needless to say, I don't have that accountant anymore. Moved on from that guy. And the accountant I have now, she's pretty awesome. She's been great. But Bach, BAC Bach, was my most problematic one, and I was in and out of their bank at least 9 times. 4 or 5 of that because of the accountant, but the rest was because of Bach. At the very end, they granted me my account, and they said, come back in a couple of days, they will have my card and give me my account information. I went back a couple of days. I actually gave them a little bit more leeway time because they need it. Went to the bank, and then they told me they were having difficulties putting my name in the system because my name, D'Angelo, is spelled D''Angelo, and the apostrophe was throwing them off, their system. It was throwing their system off, so it wasn't working, and they needed to have their IT department fix this for me. And I said, okay. They said, come back in a week. IT department will have it fixed. Also, my name, I don't know if they told me the same time or it ended up being a second time, going to the bank, was my last name. I have an American style last name where it's just one last name, as opposed to a Latin style last name where they have 2 last names. So their system did not like my apostrophe, and they did not like only one last name in my name. And so they needed IT department to put my name in the system. I went back a week later, and they said, oh, we forgot to have you sign this paper to say that you're aware we're going to put IT department's going to do this. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? You've got to be kidding me. I signed the paperwork, and then they wrote back, or I went back a week later. They said the IT was still having an issue, but also something else came up was about my residency, and so they wanted me to have residency in order to have the account with them. So I gave them my residency paperwork, and then asked, is there anything else I need to sign? They said no, come back in a week, it will all be done, it will all be set, and I'll be ready to go. I was after the 9th visit, and I kid you not, this had to have been at least 26 hours in this 3-month time of back and forth at the bank I spent in their bank. By that time, a week later, another problem arose, and I just, fuck it, I'm over it, I'm out, I'm done, not staying with this bank. Which ironic, I knew that bank was just ridiculous. I was helping the old lady with her bank account. The guy that was helping her before, like I said, helped her move her banking into that bank, so he can get on her account, because her primary bank will not let anybody get on her account. So when I was helping her with that bank, they made her wait 1 hour and 20 minutes before anybody would see her. And here in Costa Rica, if you are injured, if you are pregnant, or if you're a senior citizen, you get front of the line. You don't have to wait. Bach made her wait and wait and wait and wait more than one time. And so the last time I had helped her there at Bach, she was furious. It was an hour and 20 minutes for this 87-year-old woman that she was furious, and she was like, this is it. I don't want to be here. Tell them move all my money back to my other bank. And so we helped her close that account, move everything back to her primary bank, which is better for her. She doesn't need another bank account. Her primary bank, BCR, is the bank that every pensioner down here has. The United States Pension Department. Another problem here. Anybody can help me with this other problem in her. The United States Pension Department will not let you have your pension go to another bank in Costa Rica. It has to go to BCR. It has to go to BCR, not BAC. It has to go to BCR, Bank of Costa Rica. And Bank of Costa Rica will not permit, because of the United States pension legality of them collecting your pension, will not let anyone else be on the account but the card holder, the pension holder. So she is the only one that's allowed on her account. I need information from you guys. I've already gone to Bach and talked to the bank tellers and the bank managers and everybody at Bach about her account, as far as what are my options to help her with her bank account. She, like I said, has memory problems, and she every week wants to go to the bank and wants to go look at her account, wants to take money out of her account, wants to take cash out of her account. She loses her cash. She doesn't know what she does with her cash. She took $200 out 3 days ago, and the very next day it's all gone. She doesn't know where she went, what she spent it on, who she gave it to. Like I said, I've talked to doctors, I've talked to lawyers, I've talked to the judge, I've talked to the district attorney here, reported her to the Costa Rican FBI, the United States Embassy, CONAPON. What is my next step to help her with her banking? She needs somebody in charge of her banking to help in charge of her and her banking, as far as to not let her go to the bank and make all the changes that she keeps doing every week, and then needs help, somebody going with her to fix all the changes that she just did. The bank says no, there's nothing anybody can do to be on the account or to help her with the account. And I was asking them, obviously, like, what about her social worker? He should be a person that should be able to be in charge of it, that are in charge of helping her or finding that loophole in the bank to help her with her banking, because the bank needs to stop letting her go and collecting cash. Somebody else needs to be in charge of her money flow. She can't do it on her own anymore. The bank was very adamant that they're because of the U.S. law, nobody can help her with her banking. So if anybody out there knows another option, another person that I should be talking to, I thought the social worker would be the person to help out with that. And like I said, that was a dead end. Social worker has not come to see her. I'm exhausted with that problem. But anybody know anywhere else I can go with that? Please help me out. Back to that, my story of my banking problems. Bach was ridiculous. I was over it after the problems with the lady I was helping and myself now having problems with Bach and them taking forever and always something else with Bach. I just forget it. I went with another bank. Went with Banco Nacional, which I did not want to go with. That bank always has a line out the door. I hate that bank. But it was simple. Went there, done it. They as well had an issue with the Flujo de Caja. They wanted more information, but they worked with the accountant to get that information that they wanted onto the Flujo de Caja, which I think is where I left off on my next video. This part of the video went way longer than I filmed the first time. Sorry about that. This was a lot of drawn out drama. But the part that got cut off was probably a lot shorter and a lot simpler. Just telling you about my future video I'm going to make on the rental car company and the help I needed with the old lady. And anyways, carrying on, I'm done for now. I'm going to go have me a beer, and I'll let you continue on with the video I filmed a couple of days ago. So enjoy.